Welcome to the Things Conference 2025. Today and tomorrow we have more than 1,900 people joining, and that makes this edition of the Things Conference the biggest edition ever, with people from more than 70 different countries. So welcome everyone.
And we do this event this year also with 50% more partners than we did previously, and we're very thankful for them that they join us and make this event happen. We have more speakers than ever. We have this stage and we have two more intimate stages in the other room. We have two workshop rooms that are fully booked for 2 days. So we have an insane amount of content, a lot of niche topics, and we're super thankful for all these speakers. For us, as in the IoT industry, we massively underperform in gender diversity, and we're super proud that we have a really strong representation of female leaders in the IoT space. So 50% more partners, 80% more visitors, 80% more content. And this all has to do with the fact of us changing something in the concept of the Things Conference. So last year when we wrapped up the 2024 edition, Johan and I sat together and thought, like, we're having here around 1,500 people over the years from all around the world focusing on an event which is focused on LoRaWAN. So the Things Conference has originally always been focused on the LoRaWAN technology. And we thought, like, these people are coming here, but they're not only using LoRaWAN. LoRaWAN is just a tool, and they're using all kinds of other IoT technologies. So we started to reach out to other IoT ecosystem players, like the Bluetooth SIG, and the Wi-Fi Alliance, the Z-Wave Alliance, and Arduino. Edge AI is the new thing, so we reached out to Pete from the Edge AI Foundation, said, hey, why don't you come together, bring your community, and build a community of communities, and show the world what we can do together. And it worked out really, really well, as you can see. I mean, it's massively packed already, so this is amazing.
So who are we? So this is us. Wienke Giezeman, my name is Johan Stokking. We are the founders of the Things Industries. And this is us 10 years ago on our roof of the first office we had in Amsterdam, next to our first gateway. So it's 10 years ago. It's always, it's a long time. Wienke had a little bit more hair at the time. And it has been really an incredible journey. And today in this presentation, we want to mention a few things that we learned over the last 10 years. And today, we are, as a company, now a global platform that lets you build LoRaWAN networks and solutions at scale. And we do that by using our main product, the Things Stack, which is, among other things, a LoRaWAN network server. And it allows our users and customers to connect their LoRaWAN end devices and gateways that are installed in the field and get data in their applications or through their integrations. And the Things Stack does easy onboarding, secure activation, routing of data, and many other things. So that's really key to what we do. We made a strategic decision not to build an IoT platform, but rather build many integrations with really great existing IoT platforms out there. And this is going really well. We now have more than 3.8 million devices connected to the Things Stack. And as you know, LoRaWAN end devices, they are low power end devices. They send very little data, on average only a few messages per hour. But together, with around 4,000 messages per second, our systems are routing all these messages every second of every day. And every message can have a very valuable, small piece of payload. For example, the GPS coordinates of a cow, or a temperature in a fridge, or a water meter value, something like that. And so that is what LoRaWAN can be used for all over the world.
Yeah, so we have around 1,500 customers all around the world in a lot of different verticals. So we're helping systems integrators that help schools to do air quality monitoring or even vape detection. We have agriculture customers that track cows or soil moisture. We have logistics customers that track assets. Probably there are around 500 different types of solutions that our customers are building on our platform all around the world. And kind of almost every day, I get the question, what is the killer vertical? What's the data point? Kind of where do we need to focus on to find a growing market? And the unsatisfying answer is basically none of them and all of them. Because in the end, IoT is a tool, is a horizontal technology, and really the only one that knows about a vertical or most about a specific market, they will be successful if we make sure it's easy enough for them to use our tools. And it's also a very optimistic, I think, conclusion in the sense that basically every industry can be more efficient and effective when adopting IoT technology. So over the years, we have always focused on building a healthy and solid and sustainable company for the futures, for our customers and for ourselves. At the moment, as Johan showed in the graph, we're growing around 30% year on year. We do around 4 million recurring revenue, around 1,500 customers, and our largest customer is not even bigger than 3%, so we have a really solid base across all these verticals and geographies. We do this by trying to make the best product in our own little niche. With this let's build this thing together philosophy, we believe that everybody just focuses on their Lego brick to make sure that that's perfectly solid. And if everybody does that and makes it interoperable, we'll make all our end customers happy. We do this fully profitable and without any borrowed money. So business is going great, so why would we do this conference? Because this is a side project that got pretty much out of hand. We started 2018, and the answer is it's in our DNA. And we started the Things Network and the Things Industries with this mantra, let's build this thing together.
So when we started 10 years ago, we started with the Things Network. We didn't have any commercial or business model yet at all. And the Things Network still exists really as a 0-to-1 platform. So we built it really for developers to build their first use case on LoRaWAN, see if it works. But also the Things Network is widely used by educational institutes and non-profit use cases, really nice societal impact use cases. We also have an open source distribution of the Things stack that allows users to do everything themselves, have full control, and test everything. And what we do at the Things Industries is we help guide our users and customers to scale those solutions from 1 to 1 million. And for that, they can use the very same products, the same interface, the same APIs, but then with an SLA or with enterprise and enterprise support. And we have made a really big contribution to the ecosystem. So these are just a few of our key metrics. These are things we do not for profit, but because we think these are very important. We believe these are very important for the ecosystem to grow. So we as a company, we are one of the biggest contributors to the open source community in the IoT space. We have collected 5,500 device profiles of LoRaWAN devices. That makes it really easy to onboard them, together obviously with a very nice and active device maker ecosystem. Most of them are also here these days. So like I said, instead of building an IoT platform, we decided to integrate with dozens and dozens of really great IoT platforms that already exist. And we spend a lot of time on education. You see that also here with the Things Conference. This is really meant for education, bringing the market together, showcasing products and services. We make really professional recordings, so you can use that in your own channels, but we also have 3,000 hours of content on YouTube with more than 2 million views, 250,000 IoT developers, 90,000 forum posts. The moderators of the forum are also here today. So that's really what this community is all about and what we have been doing.
Where's Jeff, our main forum poster? Can you raise your hand? Jeff? Here.
Yeah. First row, of course.
First row. Yeah, so one is we saw over the last 10 years that contributing and paying it forward and making sure that people that want to start with IoT are fully enabled works in the end. It's a long-term strategy. So that's one belief. The other belief is that we still see this massive untapped potential. And just as an example, so if we would look at the IoT market, and we would zoom into all kinds of different niches in that IoT market. We all know there's a million different niches in IoT. And then let's focus into facility management. And see kind of like within that niche of a niche, focus on fridge monitoring. And then only focus on the US. So we're already in a niche of a niche of a niche. And then if you know that in the US there are 8 million commercial fridges, on a commercial fridge there's always a very strong temperature monitoring business case. And let's say that a typical IoT business makes around, over the lifetime of a device, makes around $300 on a device. It means an IoT opportunity of 2.4 billion in a niche of a niche of a niche in a per certain geography. So this big promise and kind of the source of maybe some hype years ago, this potential is not gone. Yeah. So kind of like we do this for two reasons. One, we feel that supporting collaboration and supporting the ecosystem pays off. And the second one is that this massive untapped potential of connecting more assets and monitoring and telemetry and everything you can do with IoT is definitely still there, and we're just starting.
So why are you here? And so we did a little survey, figure out what makes you join the Things conference. Many great reasons. Most of you see there's more potential in IoT, in collaboration, and in the market. And there are always a few people who say, I'm just here for the free beer at 5 p.m. So I'm very much looking forward to that already. So we are very much aligned on that. And that really is most of our vision.
Yeah. So this is why we are here, why you're here. And we also turned 10 years last month in August. Yeah. So kind of like when we apply this mantra in our company for 10 years, that creates a lot of dilemmas. That creates a lot of challenges as well. So I want to take you a bit through the last 10 years, give you a bit of our story of it, and share a bit of the values that we support that helped us through these 10 years and stay focused on our mission. So let's first look at the hype that we've all been through in this IoT industry. And if you're new to the IoT industry, you maybe see some people around you that look a bit tired. Now, they have been 10 years in the IoT industry. It's been quite a journey. So we all know 2015, a bit before, you had these LPWAN technologies coming up, LoRaWAN, Sigfox, Urban IoT, Bluetooth Low Energy was just released a few years earlier. And this hype started to emerge of massive expectations. And around 2018, 19, all that investment money was drying up a bit, and yeah, the industry had to show real results, and that's also always when you go through this trough of disillusionment. And then COVID didn't help along the way, but definitely what we see and what we see with our customers and our partners is a steady growth upwards, and you saw it and you can see it in this slide, where you have one graph that basically sets the expectation and the enthusiasm about it, and then you have the real world, and this is connected devices on our platform, which actually stayed very level for a very long time, and now we see the strong traction moving upwards. So what is kind of, where did we start?
Yeah, so 10 years ago, Wienke and I started, we met over coffee, we knew each other from a co-working space, And we were both in for a new adventure. We were very technology driven at the time. We wanted to build something around a interesting technology. And we were in here for a longer run. We knew this was not going to be a short sprint. We came across this new technology, LoRaWAN, that really allows you to build your own network. And if you can build your own network, you can also, as a community, you can build a network. So we formulated this mission to build an open, crowdsourced, and decentralized LoRaWAN network. And that's where it started 10 years ago.
Yeah. So we decided to create tools, a platform, even a whole social network where global IoT developers around the world could learn from each other and share technology, resources, and even if they would set up these LoRaWAN networks, they could share the infrastructure with each other. So we created this whole collaborative platform first. What we also saw is that people were not enabled by and didn't have access to cheap and developer-friendly hardware. So we decided to do a Kickstarter and executed on that in 2019, where we, in a very early and a short time, sold 600,000 euros in hardware, while Johan and I have never done a hardware company before that. So, yeah, we definitely felt how hard hardware was, and the gray hairs that we have come from that time.
So, we learned a lot about indeed doing hardware, and the reason why we wanted to do hardware is to make it more accessible for the community to build networks, have developer kits, and a low-cost gateway. And in the next year, in 2017, we were really thinking, okay, what are we doing here? We didn't really have product market fit. We did have very strong traction in the IoT communities, and there were a lot of the Things Network communities all around the world popping up. And we built this network, this backend implementation for the community network. But at the same time, we got a lot of requests from customers that wanted to build a private LoRaWAN network. But our community platform was not really suitable for that, so we were struggling a lot throughout this year. But at the same time, we were seeing the first signs of what the market would become in the years to come.
Yes, so because we were so well connected to the users, the systems integrators, the developers, the conclusion was that our customers wanted us to provide them with private IoT networks, and that is one. And then we needed to go to market, and it's also the year that we started to create the first Things conference, because we saw the technology successes. We saw early customers having business successes, not on building networks, but actually building end-to-end solutions with data that they actually use in their enterprise. So we decided to launch the Things conference as a crazy idea, and in 2018 we had the first edition. Yeah.
So in the years to come, we would do another conference. So 2019 we did a conference. I remember actually the stage was here, I think. Yeah. This year was mostly about heads down execution. We were building the foundations of what would become the Things stack. And at the same time, because we didn't have a lot of recurring revenue at the time, we were doing a lot of customer projects. And that really helped us to learn and understand from our users and our future users what they would need in this ecosystem, and what we could build as a common denominator that could be useful for many businesses as we have now connected.
Yeah. So and then 2020, the COVID hit. We had a conference in 2020, but also made sure that we doubled down on kind of bringing the global IoT community together with online events. And what COVID did for us is that, as Johan said, we were doing a lot of direct customer work, and actually we were doing work that we actually thought our customers of our software should be doing. So what COVID did is basically accelerated our focus on our pure play SaaS model, where we would just only be the software and enable our systems integrator customers to help the end customer. Yeah,
and that was ready by 2021. And so we were able to launch the Things Stack, which was the first multi-tenant shared infrastructure, globally distributed, hosted, fully managed, SLA-backed platform for building private LoRaWAN solutions. It was a very long sentence. Yeah. And it was also a lot of work. And we are still building upon this architecture. We're still improving this every day. And yeah, this has become really one of the main drivers also of our commercial success. So that was really a turning point for us around 2021. Yeah.
So around 2022, you saw that everything became more mature. The traction was there, and the growth curve really started.
And then we have a few years where we just focus on growth, building upon our product leadership and operational excellence. We started adding more services and supporting tools around the Think stack, and things were integrating a lot better. And we went back to doing a gateway. So last year here we launched the Things Indoor Gateway Pro, and that has also been very successful in the last year.
Yeah, and now we're on this continued growth curve, scaling further, and yeah, doing everything to make sure that our customers that over the years moved from, hey, I'm going to do a deployment of 10 to now I'm going to do 1,000, now I'm going to do 100,000. Make sure that they're fully enabled at every level of scale and every type of maturity they are in their journey to do IoT. Going back to our mantra, let's build this thing together, and the values that we kept doing, because now it sounds like an easy ride, 10 years, but that goes with massive ups and downs, and then you need some tools and some ways to keep focus. So I wanted to share with you these values and also the values that underlie the whole concept on which we draft this conference.
So I think first, openness. So we really started as an open source project, and that's still what we do. We still strongly believe in open source. 70% of our code base is open source, and we don't do that just because we want to give that away to the community and make use of that, but we also do that for ourselves, because we know that open source code has to reach really high code quality standards, and our development process is very transparent. We have a lot of technical customers, and sometimes and very often they are also developers, and for them it's very useful if they are able to file an issue on GitHub and they can follow it and they can see what we did and in which release it lands. The free community platform, like I said, it's very, very useful for many different use cases, not only R&D, but also societal impact use cases. And there's really no permission required. You can get started without, credit card information or things like that. And we are lowering barriers every day to make it much easier with content and with onboarding devices and guides and documentation to get started with LoRaWAN.
Yeah, the second value is collaboration, being collaborative. As I just said, it's like the IT is very hard, and focusing on one thing and making that doing that really well, and using standards to make sure that you work with other standards or other companies and partners that do their thing really well is very important. We do a lot of standards contribution. Collaborating with competitors brings a lot of dilemmas, but standards organizations like the LoRa Alliance create a perfect platform for us to collaborate on the standard and to contribute. We've created this social IoT platform where I talked about, and we also not only want to collaborate ourselves, we want to be a platform for collaboration, and this conference is one of the prime examples of that.
So easy exchange. So remember the slide where you had these end devices on the left and the gateways and the Think stack and then integrations and applications. So what we do is we sit right in the middle of many IoT deployments with our products and services. And it requires us to make it very easy for our users and customers to work with our stack, both on the application and integration side. So we have everything API first, for instance, with a API compatibility commitment also that makes sure that if you build solutions and tools on top of the API of the Think stack, that it will keep on working in the years to come. There's very little lock-in. We don't require anyone to use everything of our platform. You can just pick and choose parts that you can use. And the device repository really helps with onboarding devices. So this contains 5,500 LoRaWAN device profiles, but not only their characteristics and capabilities, also, for example, what kind of payload they sent, and to make sense of binary data into structured data, and all those small things that are very, very helpful to get started. And finally, on device maker enablement, a lot of device makers use our platform also to test their devices and get, see the behavior, see all the metadata, see how these devices are performing, and that's also what we made our platform very useful for.
And that's what industry supportive. So we just talked about the massive untapped potential. That's really kind of the 99% of the enterprises that are not fully leveraging the opportunities of IoT. That's really what we all should be focusing on, and not try to fight within the little 1%. And this event is an example, and we tried to set the example here. And we've been always very supportive to any other technology. So this is what we want with this conference. We want to be kind of provide a platform where we as an industry can be open, collaborative, supportive of each other, make sure that it's easy to exchange each other's ideas, IPs, products, services, and provide great products and services to the end customers. So we want to wish you a very nice, fun, engaging conference. Thank you guys are here, and enjoy.
See you next year.
Thanks, guys. Good job.